okay?
Good. How are you? Nice to see you.
Nice to see you without a bed sheet over you, you know?
Yeah, that was kind of weird.
I love weird. I really do love weird because
You're our kind of people.
Yeah,
right
I'm a huge horror fan. You see, massive horror fan, and if this wasn't a festival with all genres, it would have been very small and lots of you know what I mean, lots of blood and guts. That's how I'd like it. So yeah, and yeah, what I kind of get the sense of you guys from the music and everything. No, you're kind of original. You know what I mean? It's unique. That's what I like. That's what I think people submitting films to this are liking, because we're a little bit different in our festival. We're much smaller, but we've received films from all walks of life and different kinds of people, and from kids to people in their late 80s and that. So it's been
that's amazing.
Yeah. So where are you guys based? Is it Toronto?
Toronto. Sorry, pointing at my chest. This is PG, just in case. But sorry, I'm Smudgie, and this is David.
Hi, David.
Lead actor and boyfriend and stuff, and producer. But we're based in Toronto. Just through Danielle's a good friend of ours. So.
Oh, she's great. Love Danielle.
She's amazing. Yeah. She's a lovely person.
I've realized the talent pool in Toronto and Canada is, obviously from a very small point of view of mine, it's huge. It's absolutely massive.
Oh, thank you. It's a big city, and it is kind of the entertainment hub of, well, Vancouver and Montreal too, but Toronto's the biggest city anyway.
Yeah, it's the place where they shot the X-Files, so it's or roundabouts, you know what I mean? So it's got a big plus in my book.
Yeah, I think they also shot in Vancouver, but
all over. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But that's really good. Thank you so much, first off, for having us. We're so excited and a little nervous. I don't know why.
Oh, don't be nervous, because this is all. It was new to me 7 or 8 weeks ago. Even just speaking to someone on camera that wasn't work related, you know, the kind of, because you're like a Morlock most of the time doing your job, you know. So it's honestly, I feel like one of those kids that escapes in Temple of Doom at the end. Like I stepped outside for 5 minutes and it was bright sunshine. It was roasting, which is rare in this country.
And you're obviously in the UK. I heard your interview with Danielle, which was amazing.
Oh, that's very kind. Thank you. Yeah, I'm based in Chester, which is to kind of for people that don't know the area, it's near Liverpool, Manchester way. So it's kind of right near those two big cities. And obviously they've had a big influence on music and film and everything across the decades and that. Yeah. So I'd like to a little bit talk about your film. So sure. if you can tell the viewers what it's called and what it's about.
Sure. Okay. Do you want me? Oh, yeah. So again, I'm Smudgie. This is David, and I write music. I'm a singer-songwriter, and so we thought, first of all, Danielle came to us and said, "Hey, there's this amazing film festival I heard about," and she said, why don't you guys enter? And I'd written a song called Find My Heart. It's a pop ballad. And we needed a video to go with it. Like, we didn't think we were going to do one till Danielle said, there's this festival, you should enter. And I went, okay. So in a day, right? We did it
I think it was over 2 days.
Over 2 days, yeah. So we did it over 2 days. And the idea is, the song's called Find My Heart. So David's brilliant idea was, well, I like the sheet because I don't know why I'm weird, but we put a sheet over him with an X, and he thought he'd put an X over the heart because it's called Find My Heart, and it's like his heart's missing. It's very avant-garde or whatever. So we have him doing weird things in this sheet, at home in my condo area. So I don't know if that answers your question.
No, absolutely. Yeah, that's kind of what I kind of almost want to get that out of the way and talk to you guys and find out about who you guys are. I thought it was a lot of fun. What I initially thought, it was some sort of crazy pandemic kind of outfit to kind of keep yourself. Do you know what I mean? So it was like a little bit ghostly, obviously the kind of classic white sheet and all of that. And
yeah, you know what's funny, Alex, is that after making it, we didn't think of this, at least I didn't initially, but I thought, wow, looking at David or the Blue Ghost walking down the hall in that weird scenes, it actually is kind of a representative of what's going on now, unfortunately, in the world, and having to cover up, but we didn't intend that. Like, it just was an afterthought.
I think it's a really nice afterthought in many ways, and it's really interesting to know that wasn't the intent, because when I saw it, was, oh, that's really cool, that's really funny, and then to hear that, it's quite interesting.
Thanks.
What the compliment, because this will probably come out after our festival closes, but when our festival closes, so our deadline finishes on Sunday, as you can see. I don't know if you saw the little update video.
I did.
And you could see some of the films, if you watched it, you could see some of the films that were included. And we've had the scope is unbelievable. So 31st, for anyone watching, which will probably be after, but I'll announce this anyway. So this news isn't news in some ways. It's crazy. So 31st is a submission date. It finishes. And then we've got a week. We're going to compile everything. We've got an exceptional judge for our cinematography award. We're trying to get as many as we can. We're kind of doing it as a democracy between the people involved. And there's only 3 of us. And we've got a music video cinematographer and director who did Guns N' Roses, Alice Cooper, all sorts of stuff.
Goodness.
So he said, "Is there anything I can be involved with?" And he messaged me. I messaged him back, and I said, "Well, were you interested in choosing Best Cinematography Award?" I said, "Yeah, great. Send me them over." I'm like, "Oh my god, he's had like 5 billion views on his content online." So
that's incredible.
when you accumulate all of those, and we recorded a podcast with him as well. He's based in LA. He's called Vance Burberry, and he did just tons of. Like Guns N' Roses did Sweet Child of Mine, that music video. He shot all of that.
Oh my goodness, he sounds so. That's amazing, Alex.
So we're very lucky, extremely lucky, just to get one judge like that. And if we can get anyone else of similar ilk, because we're trying to get nothing flashy. We just want a genuine community feel, and he was such a down to earth guy as well, and he kind of suited what we're doing. Oh yeah, and so a week after Sunday, we're announcing scheduling for the showcasing and our live thing, which should be interesting, because live events are really fun to do, aren't they?
Geez, that's crazy. Wow.
So a week after what's the date? I want to give you the exact date to make sure I'm not wrong.
Yeah, thank you for that.
So on the 7th of June, we're announcing how we're going to showcase everything. I know that's a little bit vague, but we're just, with work and everything else, it's crazy.
You have a lot on your plate, it sounds like.
It's crazy. So we've had almost 100 submissions, and for a 2-person team, it's you know what I mean, it's crazy. And we've had so much great content from Canada, especially.
Oh, thank you. That's exciting. And I saw, your like all the clips, and it's like documentaries and all kinds of. It's amazing how creative people are even with these literal confinement, so to speak. It's inspiring. Yeah.
I feel like I'm, when you hear about these big film festivals, like what's the Robert Redford one? Sundance. Yeah, the Sundance one. And London Film Festival, that kind of thing, Tribeca. And they, production companies go to these festivals to buy the films, don't they? It's like a showcase of talent. And I've kind of been doing that in a very minuscule way. I've seen little Instagram things people have tagged us in, or other people have said, "Oh, why don't you submit your film?" And then I've kind of stepped forward and asked them. Like the one that's the clip on the documentary is a documentary filmmaker, and she works for Bloomberg and a couple of other big companies. So it's really interesting to see different ways to get this content, and we're going to continue this next year in some fashion as well. We really want to.
Oh, that's exciting! Congrats!
Oh, cheers! It's just because this podcast has been really lovely to meet you fine people as well. Because we didn't just want to collect all the films, put some flashy material out, and then just say that's it. Here's a few awards, and that, you know what I mean. And we just
it's about reaching out and connecting.
Exactly. Yeah. And yeah. So how did you kind of find out about the festival initially?
Oh, so through Danielle, our friend Danielle LeBlanc, who's a multi-talented actress and music. she's in groups, and she works with Dantone, who's also as talented. They're an amazing team. Yeah, so she's a good friend of ours who also lives in Toronto. She knew about you guys. And then she said, like I mentioned earlier, she said, why don't you guys her? Because she's so bubbly and friendly. And we thought, well, why not? Let's do it. And so we had no like fancy stuff. We just literally took sheets and masking tape and came up with this weird kind of story to match my song I just released called Find My Heart. So that's kind of the story.
Like I said to Danielle, we're seeing people's personalities kind of come through their work, and based on like your own music, you produce that. It's kind of a natural extension of who you are, and we're seeing that in pretty much all the films as well. And so Danielle's personality, I kind of had that vibe already, even before I recorded something. I knew it was really going to be interesting and funny.
Yeah. And
it was as soon as I don't know if you've seen her. Have you seen her film?
I have. Yeah. She's so talented. Yes.
The reason I mention that is when she rode her bike from the entranceway of a flat to the other side. That reminded me of a film, a behind-the-scenes moment in Casablanca I read about when Claude. I don't know if you've seen it. When Claude Rains storms into the room and Humphrey Bogart's there, he got asked to do it multiple times, and the 12th time he was asked to do it, he rode into the set on a bike.
I didn't know that.
So I knew as soon as I saw that moment, I kind of knew, and based on your film as well, and looking further at your music, I kind of knew who the kind of people you were, which is great.
Yeah, hopefully that's great. Yeah, but yeah, Danielle's bike thing, that stood out for me in her film. Plus, I love her, the way she kind of moves between the real life drama that we're all kind of having to experience, the comedy of it. She's got a great way of balancing those two things. I thought was brilliant. But her riding her bike, which I think she named Katy Perry. She's so cute. I think that's right. Anyway, so Danielle's, so we got in because of her.
Superb. So Smudgie, how long have you been kind of performing and recording music for?
Yeah, so basically, I mean, I wrote my first song at 15, so a long time ago when I lived in Winnipeg, kind of one of the coldest parts of Canada. And then I took guitar lessons from 8 years old. And then I stopped in my mid-20s, and I started economics. So I actually went on this whole academic path and went all the way to getting a PhD in economics. And I was studying, so kind of music went on hold. But then I was studying in the UK a little bit. I was doing extra research at the LSE, London School of Economics, and I was in Russell Square area in a flat in residence. And I was supposed to be working on my thesis, but it was getting so dry and boring that I thought, I started writing lyrics to a love song out of the blue. And I thought it was raining outside, and I was like, let me write it. It's called Unintentionally. And like I said, I hadn't written in years. And then I thought, okay, I'll send this to my brother back in Canada. So my brother is a music producer.
Okay.
And he's got decades of experience. He went right through music. And I thought, he's going to laugh at me. And what happened instead was he wrote back, no, this is not bad. I can add music to this. And it ended up becoming a full song on my first studio album. And I've now got over 4 albums with him and now with David producing and both and other people. But so that started it. So when I finished economics, I kind of worked for a little bit in that, and then thought I had an opportunity to decide, the safe academic kind of keep going route or doing what I love. And I chose music a few years ago, it's been over 10 now. So
wow, that's incredible.
Back to music. It's a long answer to your question.
That's a really interesting way to kind of rediscover your music, is in the middle of a PhD or towards the end of it, and then writing lyrics.
It's so weird.
Yeah, that sounds like the scene of your movie. That's what that sounds like to me.
Thanks. Yeah, actually, I'm there's so much going on with me. I like creative stuff. So I'm gonna have to
superb.
David has no chance to get in here. But,
So, David, what did you think of the initial idea for the video? Is it something you both discussed before you shot it, or did you kind of wing it, so to speak?
It kind of happened slowly. The initial thought was actually there's some shots, I think they made it in, of the me underneath the bed sheet covered in Christmas lights.
I love that.
It was weird. It was like a horror movie.
It's so sadistic.
Yeah.
We were just trying to play with lights and see
And
what kind of
film
thing we
lights.
could do, and we didn't have a storyline at all.
No.
So it started from there, and we just kept trying to think of other things we could do, and it just kept getting more and more filled out, and the storyline kind of came together naturally. And the way it was eventually cut together is not at all the order of which it was shot.
Yeah, we edited.
So we kind of just tried to think of everything we could do with this this character we came up with.
Yeah.
And it was so much fun. I had so much fun. I got so many sub stories. There's one with me. Can I swear? I don't know if I can.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Go right ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, all right. So there's one scene, I'm jumping around here a bit, but there's one scene, and I like directing because I'm bossy, annoyingly bossy, but so I was filming him with my phone, and he was in the blue ghost outfit, and he's standing at the kitchen sink, and I'm on the other side of the sink filming him, and I said, let's make it about, because the song's called Find My Heart, and maybe you're sad someone's left you, so you're crying over a relationship somehow. So it's hard to show expression under a sheet. So he was doing dishes, and I said, look sad, look melancholy. So first he tilts his head down and he's slowly doing dishes. I'm like, just put him aside as though you don't give a shit about life anymore. And he does that really well, and he doesn't act like, this is.
I'm not an actor.
But he plays one on video.
I play one on video, yeah.
So on the other side, I'm like, be really sad. Look at this picture of, basically it was David with a wig on that we created on the fly. Yeah. So
the female ghost was also me.
Okay.
So we put it in a frame, right? So I'm like way too many zooms on that, but I'll close up.
No, that worked. That worked because I think it was important to have that close up of the frame picture. Yeah.
So I'm crying, laughing because David at one point he puts it down after looking at it, and then he's on the counter crying, and he was so good at crying out that I was filming him going, yeah, be really sad, get into it, and he sounded so real. I went, are you okay? And he was just like so looking sad. I was worried, but he was actually. I
was dying laughing. Yeah. I was laughing so hard, but I was trying to.
Yeah.
So some of those body movements and mannerisms are your laughter.
Yes.
Yeah. That works so well. That's so you wouldn't know.
So and I was starting to cry, and I remember
it was not planned. I mean, we did most of those things just a couple times to get mostly different camera angles, not even to get different performances. So we really had no rehearsal on any of the shots.
No.
Did you ramp it up at all? Were you started, because you know how some people that don't know acting or anything like that, or performing generally, that you start off small and you don't kind of overdo it too much because it's too minimal sometimes, isn't it? So did you kind of start on 0, or did you go straight to 11?
I went straight to 11.
Well, it took a couple of minutes of me going, come on, you're really sad, you gotta use it all, and then he went like to 20. Yeah. And but it was seriously, and then some of the outtakes were like he's like, I was back on his side of the dishes, and he's washing dishes in the ghost outfit, and I'm like, he goes, what are you doing? Why are you filming? And I'm like, I need outtakes, and we started just silly. It was silly, but it was super fun.
I can imagine. Whose idea was the use of the Christmas lights?
That was this one.
Me, because I love, even though I actually went to film school for a summer, crash course of film school, not like real film. Well, I guess it was real film school. But I like anything to do with lighting, and I know it's so important. I thought we could get some wacky, interesting, different shots because you can't change the background too easily.
Yeah, the first thing we had I wasn't involved. We had just put the lights out on a sheet on a bed, so this kind of started from there. And we thought it would be interesting if I was underneath to try to make some kind of movement of the light. And it just went.
But it looked like a horror movie, at the end, especially. It looked like the heart breathing. I was like,
If Michael Myers was a Christmas film and not a Halloween, he'd kill someone with Christmas lights.
All right, we got to make that next.
Yeah.
Honestly, That is, that would be in a some sort of Jason Blum horror film where someone would be killed on the pool table or whatever with the Christmas lights.
That would work. That would be really
Actually,
good.
that would be good because I really like comedy, so you can see where this could maybe blend horror comedy. I'm a big Buffy the Vampire fan.
Ah, right, cool. I was talking to I was talking to. I don't know if you know Courtney Delenn. Courtney.
No, I don't think so.
She's an actress based out of Toronto as well. And I'll tell you a little Buffy thing that we were talking about. Obviously, I end up talking about the X-Files at some point in almost every episode. And they released them in Germany a good few years ago in HD originally. And you saw the 16:9. It wasn't cropped for TV like most TVs were in the 90s, 4:3. And Germany was the first country that had HD versions. They were 16:9, and they look beautiful because they were shot on film. And obviously now it's 16:9. The whole lot is, and it looks fantastic. But the Buffy producers were approached about the same thing because I think it was a Fox show, wasn't it?
Yes.
I think it was.
Yes,
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah.
It was they were approached about, oh, would you like to release a HD version of the show for, in 16:9? And if you've seen the behind the scenes photos of the way they do the cropping, they can't do it because just outside the frame, there's someone with a light fixture. And
oh my God.
So it's, I was a big fan of Buffy. I met Giles at a film festival thing.
Oh,
no way. Oh,
yeah, he's such a dude. He's so funny.
He's
really,
so funny.
really funny guy. Yeah.
I loved him in Repo.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I never saw that.
So good.
And he's such a great singer, actually, speaking of music.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and a few episodes they got him like with a guitar. He's got a beautiful voice. Yeah, really beautiful.
I think that deserves a rewatch. I think that is underrated.
Oh yeah.
Like Josh Whedon, I love the way he gets the group dynamic. Yes. And if you've seen oh God, what's that show? Oh my God. Yeah. Absolute genius, and it was killed off before its time. It really was.
It was.
And I've got to say, the writing, you know how that mixture of, is it Chinese and English they have?
Yeah. What a
it's because it's like if you watch Children of Men, the big movie Clive Owen.
Yeah, brilliant movie.
All the future is kind of it. If you watch just the beginning, you can see the Chinese superpowers to kind of, the dominance of China across the globe in terms of the way things look. And that's what I thought was genius about what you've not seen in Firefly, the history of the Earth, how China's got a positive influence in many ways and not. But then, English is dominant in most countries, but then the idea of Chinese language being dominant as well. And I know that's such a small thing to take from that show, but it was genius writing, isn't it?
I agree.
Absolutely.
So far forward thinking. It reminded me of Blade Runner, earlier.
Yeah.
And that far seeing, and even the dark streets and it was amazing.
Have you got who would you? I know this is probably it might be a big question or a small one, but who are your kind of musical influences?
Oh, for me, it's basically we have very different tastes, but for me, it's I really like I like a wide variety, but I'll just name some. Like I like Blondie, I like Taylor Swift, I like Joan Baez, I like Joni Mitchell. I like Evanescence a lot. So I'm really like, I don't know, my friends, like there's a ton of different influences out. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? Because you can be influenced. You can be influenced by someone without even realizing it.
Yeah, like even Bach. We were listening to Bach. I never say that right or whatever. But because my brother, I take music theory lessons occasionally for my brother, and he's really into Bach and just learning about borrowed chords and anyway, music theory, and it's really amazing the influences you can all have. But what I tend to produce is kind of quirky indie pop. That's kind of what alternative rock.
It comes out
that way.
Yeah, that's your personality bleeding through, isn't it?
I guess so. Yeah, it's weird, probably.
hence, I think really unique people that love Buffy as well. You kind of get a good positive vibe from those people as well.
Yeah, I'm really glad you like Buffy because
absolutely.
It says a lot. I already know that most people that like Buffy, I connect with.
Yeah. We'll have to come up with some sort of Buffy-related handshake, like or signal. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like a fake or something. No, I don't know.
But like something you whisper in someone's ear and you know you can trust them. Like you're not like kind of like a positive version of Hail Hydra. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Use Whedon's production company and just say "Gur Arg."
Oh, do you know how many times oh my God, that was in my lexicon. That was part of my DNA saying that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought I was the only
Gur
one.
Arg. I was doing Gur Arg yesterday, and my.
Oh my God!
I'm not joking. I wasn't doing Vicky, my partner. She's just at work. She works for the NHS. So she arrived, and she went upstairs because she gets changed straight away because you don't want to work and all of that. But I was in the kitchen. I wanted to surprise her, so I stuck my arms out going "Gur Arg," but I wasn't even consciously thinking of Buffy. That's how ingrained it was. Yeah, how mental is that?
That is mental, like seriously mental. That's really cool. I'm gonna start. Yeah, I mean, we have to do that instead of good morning. Like,
Gur Arg, yeah, the old kind of classic Boris Karloff arms or something. Yeah. But yeah, it's been a really interesting process, and I'm going to show you a couple of films actually as a little sneak peek.
Oh, sweet! Thank you.
And what I'll do, I've shown this film too many times. It's animation, but it's the first clip in that sequence you saw today.
Oh wow!
So when this comes out, we'll include the film in this podcast because people will have seen it before that point. So. It might be a little bit laggy, but you'll get the gist of it.
Okay, thanks.
So share screen. This is always the fun bit, making sure
I'm not good at that coordinating.
There you go.
Okay.
Cool.
Can you see this?
I can, yeah.
You do not have to walk on your knees for 100 miles through the desert repenting. You only have to let the soft animal of your body love what it loves. Tell me about despair, yours, and I will tell you mine. Meanwhile, the world goes on. Meanwhile, the sun and the clear pebbles of the rain are moving across the landscapes, over the prairies and the deep trees, the mountains and the rivers. Meanwhile, the wild geese, high in the clean blue air, are heading home again. Whoever you are, no matter how lonely, the world offers itself to your imagination, calls to you like the wild geese, harsh and exciting, over and over announcing your place in the family of things.
So we've got...
Wow. I feel like I have to applaud that. That's so beautiful.
That was excellent.
See, we've had... That's one of the reasons I wanted to put that little advert out. We've been kind of a little bit precious with all the films so far, because we didn't just want to blurt them out and, oh, that's it, just a one shot. Because we want to make a big deal as much as we can with every film, and what we're gonna do going forward, I think, including yours, is put little snippets out of your film and the podcast together as little adverts and that as well.
Oh, that's so sweet.
So because I think your podcast and a few others before will be the first after the process almost ends, but we want to continue it in podcast form, the festival. So we're going to try and speak to all the filmmakers, including you guys. And
that's so exciting. And that film is so beautiful. It's how nature's coming back. It's actually all around us.
Exactly, yeah. I'm going to try and find a Canadian-based film. Oh, actually, no, maybe not. I'll go a little bit further. Let's go international. So let's go to Australia. I feel like I'm talking about Eurovision. I don't know if you know Eurovision, but yeah, let's go to Australia.
Yeah.
And next up.
Exactly, yeah. So exactly, pretty much. So this is where is it? I need to find the right one. Where is the right one? Okay, I'm going to show you a UK one. So this is called The Castle, and I'm just going to find that now. So I just heard something in the background. So there we go. Okay, share that. Screen 1. Share that. Okay, can you see just a black screen now?
Yes.
Okay.
That the coronavirus outbreak could become a pandemic.
The number of cases soaring just today.
Death toll in Spain is still behind Italy.
Europe has now become the epicenter of the COVID-19.
You must stay at home.
Trapped. Alone. In my castle of isolation. Lost in a timeless abyss. Tormented by thoughts. Haunted by memories. Alone. A voice knocks at my solitude. Madness surely. It questions with each knock.
Now.
And knocks.
Now.
And knocks.
Now.
And knocks.
Can I come in now? Now. Now. I'm telling Daddy. No, stop! He's doing his internal monologues again.
Deshaun, cut that out.
She is my madness. I know her scheming ways. I know what she wants.
It's my turn to self-isolate.
This is my sanctuary. I will never surrender.
Resistance is futile.
No more will I succumb to her demands. No more.
I will conquer the castle.
She is worse than the coronavirus.
I am worse than the coronavirus.
I am the cure to her unscrupulous.
I can hear both your internal monologues. Stop it!
Great. Really creative titling too. Wow.
Initially, there's actually a black poster, like a one sheet, as you get in the US. It just says the castle and the two actors' names, and it's so dramatic. It's so dramatic. The poster, it's completely opposite to the film. So that's
that's great. Yeah, that was really fun. I love that. I thought it was really serious initially, and then it's just like
yeah, because that, you know, the kind of music, the way they scored it initially, I thought, oh right, this is going to be a somber piece, but now it's chaos.
It was brilliant. They sucked you in twice, like basically 3 times.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's kind of,
that's really cool.
I spoke to the filmmaker Chandru. He's an actor based in London, and I said, you know, there's such a good idea putting such kind of elevated language, so to speak, into, you know, you two kids, because you never really get that. When you see that in a TV show, it feels so fake when you've got, this might sound bad, but a super intelligent child that the language doesn't suit the child almost, you know what I mean? And it's kind of fake. Yeah, but in that, it kind of works because it is comedy as well.
It totally works. I thought the same thing initially. I thought, oh, those are big words for that kid.
Well, especially since it's not, it's an internal narration. So who knows what kids, when they have their own dialogue, what they sound like.
Yeah.
So they
that's a really smart observation.
Really serious.
Yeah. So yeah, we've had a real mix of of films.
It's a lot. And really talented.
Yeah. And yeah, we've had 1 or 2 horror films. Do you know Ian Rayburn?
No,
I think he's a friend of Danielle, and he created a film called Days, and that's super dark. Just bear with me 1 moment.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's cool, because I heard Danielle talking on the interview about her friends doing films, and I think they were also in this.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
I was thinking about when I walked back then. I was thinking about, should I walk into the bed sheet or something, just to scare you guys.
I didn't want to watch that sheet.
Yeah, exactly.
Place in my heart.
Sorry, Ian's a filmmaker based in Toronto, and I think we'll show you that one as well.
Okay, cool.
This is the polar opposite of what you just seen.
Okay.
So let me find that. Okay, you may have seen that this is also featured in the ISFF, the Toronto-based film festival. I'm going to show you this one. Okay.
Thanks.
Screen one. Okay, let me know when you see a black screen.
Yeah.
We've all seen the people who seem to think they're invincible. Well, you're not. Go home and stay home.
Cotton as well, but you put it over.
Hearing about people not getting them, you're hearing about people getting sick.
Well, stores are providing daily provisional times for people to come.
Under the Emergency Act, the government has demanded for a complete lockdown procedure starting tonight at midnight. Breaking this order will result in severe punishment.
I told the world, we cannot go the way we are going.
String of lights has become visible in our atmosphere. Incredibly, reported infection cases have been coming down since these lights have appeared.
There was another attack on City Hall. Police were completely overrun. Board up the windows, cover up the doors. No one's coming to save us.
I know you're in here, bitch!
This is the emergency broadcast system. At 11:38 a.m., multiple unidentified objects were confirmed to have detached from the glowing orb surrounding our skies. It is now being reported these objects are in fact of extraterrestrial origin. This is expected to be a global attack. Please close and secure all doors and windows. This will be the final broadcast.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Wow, that's intense. Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty intense, isn't it?
Yeah. Wow, I need that's that. Wow, that's yeah. There's a lot of variety, eh?
Do you like how I've pulled you from both ends of the spectrum with those films?
Yeah, now I'm like, I need something funny. I need something funny.
Yeah. I'm like that as well. I'm like that with horror and anything really dark. I need a little bit of light relief, like sticking on Ally McBeal or something.
Yeah. That's really funny.
So I really thank you guys for being on the show, and
thank you, Alex.
We'll keep you both. And it's very nice to meet you two. And
Absolutely.
We'll keep you up to date as much as possible throughout this process. And obviously, as you can see, our Instagram is pretty active, and
it's really active. Really well done, by the way. I love the countdowns, and it's so so thorough, so pro.
I appreciate that, and hopefully we'll do the actual end of the festival justice as well.
I'm sure you will. Well, thank you so much for the opportunity. We're super pumped. And
yeah, this is great.
Yeah,
I can't wait to see the other movies.
Yeah,
great.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, so we're we're not going to hide away all the films. We are going to find a way, the right way, to showcase all of them. So it's not going to be like a day of all the films being online. We're going to obviously curate and then whittle down horror and different genres or whatever. I don't think we'll cover all genres because of, how many we get per thing.
Yeah.
But
did you get a lot of music videos? Sorry to.
We had some interesting covers. We had one really interesting one from Australia, which was a housemates. There, like 9 of them, and they dressed up. It was like that. Which Freddie Mercury Queen tune is it? Where he's hoovering, he's dressed as a woman.
Do you know it?
I don't know.
I don't remember that one, but
so there's one where he's dressed as a woman. So basically, their vibe is that, and they've actually got a drone shot in it and all sorts of stuff. So it's
oh, that's sweet.
So we spoke to Nadia a couple of days ago, and she was really fun. I knew, like I said to you guys, you could tell the kind of person she's going to be.
You can tell.
So where can people find your music?
So basically, if you go to Spotify and type Smudgie, SMUDGIE, that's my nickname from birth, and that's you find everything, or smudgiemusic.com. Everything's there. So, and I've got a new song coming out on June 5th called My Best Bad Habit. So it's through Spotify. So.
Oh, brilliant! Send us a link to that, and we'll put a plug out for you just before as well.
Thank you so much, Alice. You're amazing, honestly, and I am going to send you the t-shirts. Like, if I'll talk to you afterwards about how.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. My size. I'm going through this Marlon Brando late in his career phase at the moment. That's my size, all light and shadow to hide things. So if you send me that, if you just remind me about the release date of your song, then we'll release a snippet of this podcast. It's going to be way in advance, obviously, but we'll tie it in with a link and everything as well.
Oh, that's super sweet of you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Will do.
No
Thanks,
worries. Thank you.
Going, and honestly, this is inspiring, and it's a beautiful thing, and it's real. It's not all pretentious or fake or anything. I hate that shit.
It's been so much fun, and I love seeing what's been coming out of it. It's really, really inspiring.
Yeah.
Superb. Well, that's very nice to hear, and thank you both so much for being on. And I love the little studio as well.
Oh, thanks. We just did this quick. All right. Thanks.
See ya. Have a great day. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Yeah, you too. Bye from Toronto.
See you now. Bye.